Welcome to Daily Armor. Today we're going to be in James chapter 4, verse number 8. This will have to be a super quick devotion. I was running a little bit behind this morning. But I want to touch on James chapter 4, verse number 8. And the reason is because last night I was writing out a prayer letter to the Lord. And it was a lot about just really personal things that, and simple things that I guess for some reason I was kind of feeling silly. I don't know if you ever do that, if you ever are praying to the Lord or wanting to talk to the Lord about something and you're like, oh, you don't want to hear about this because it's silly. And at the same time, then the draw nigh to God and he will draw nigh to you came to mind. And he was reassuring me that I'm to cast all my cares. We find that in 1 Peter 5:7, casting all our cares, every one of them, even those that are the simple, they don't mean anything to anybody else. You know, like if you ever wanted to talk to somebody about something and you're like, you don't want to hear this. And I was doing that with the Lord. And he was reassuring me that to cast all my cares, to draw nigh to him because he wants to draw nigh to me. And then I was looking up this scripture in James 4:8, and it says, draw nigh to God and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. So when you take it into context, James is really challenging believers to get close to God, but in order to get close to him, and this is what God desires from us, he wants to get close to us. He wants us to get close to him, but we have to come clean. And sometimes the reason that we're not praying, or the reason that we're not reading, or the reason that we're not feeling comfortable talking to the Lord, even about ourselves, sometimes we may feel like, well, we want to pray for others. And I think part of my problem is when I am praying for others, and when I'm praying about some big, heavy situations, then I feel silly for praying about those little, tiny, doesn't mean anything to anybody but me situations. And yet, he says in 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your cares, all of them. The big ones, of course, but even the tiny little ones, because they all make a difference. They all make a difference. But going back to James chapter 4, when we're drawing nigh to the Lord, and the way that we can get close to him is that we have to come to him and be clean. And may possibly mean that we need to get a little, little dirt cleaned up. And that we have some things that we need to confess and talk to him about and admit that, Lord, I'm struggling here. And I need help here. And Lord, I need you to forgive me. Please, Lord, I need you to forgive me. And I want to do better, and, give me passages to help counteract, what I'm wanting to do, what I'm wanting to think. And that's exactly what he was doing for me whenever I was just thinking, and I even wrote it. I wrote it down in my prayer. I told the Lord, I said, I have these doubts trying to make me feel silly, but I don't go on feelings, but facts. And that's what he was giving me. And what he says, that's where the facts are. That's what we hold to, what he says. And what he says is draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. He's saying, come to me, but you got to come to me and get clean. We got to get cleaned up. We got to get cleaned up. And so my challenge for myself today is really, even the tiniest little things that I'm struggling with, even the tiniest little things that I want to talk to him about, he's saying, come. And if there's things that you're, that's dirty, that's not clean, come and get cleansed, because he's got that way to do that. And he wants to draw nigh to me, and he wants to draw nigh to you, and he wants us to be close to him. And we can cast all of our cares upon him, for he careth for you. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.